Something that just came up for me as you were talking was like, it's so interesting how when I talk to people about how they started in real estate, there's always like some mixture of retaining their capital, whether that's through like primary residence loans, like you were saying, like you moved in, right? And so you probably got, I'm assuming your first co-living house, you got 5% down or 3% down or something. Or no, you used a VA loan, so it's 0% down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually got paid to buy that house.
Yeah,
The
nice.
seller gave me a $300 gift card to Home Depot and covered all my closing costs.
Nice. I think that's a really great thing for people to wrap their heads around. And now you're doing that same thing with build to rent. You're basically building homes, getting all your money back out so you can repeat this thing as many times as possible. And that's hard to do, I know, and we'll go into some of the details of it, but it's possible. And I think people really have to wrap their heads around, okay, you have to be a little flexible. You might have to be willing to move. Is there any secrets that you can share with us specifically around VA loans? Because I definitely have some in my audience that are interested in that and that, have been in the military or are veterans. Like, is there anything you share with us about, is there anything that you have to know to use those for rental properties, or you have to live in them, I think, for a little period of time, right?
Yes, your intention at the time of loan application, it needs to be that you're going to live in the property. If extenuating circumstances happen after you buy the property and you need to move somewhere else, then you can. But if you're doing that intentionally, that I would not do that. That's considered the F word. We want to stay away from that. So for the VA loan, it does have to be your primary residence, but there's nothing against house hacking. So if you wanted to go buy a triplex and you want to live in one of the units and rent the other two out, you can do that and live there for a few months and then decide that you're tired of listening to the tenants next door. So you want to move out, go buy another house. There's a thing called second tier VA. A lot of veterans don't know about it, but it's called second tier entitlement. So if you don't use all of your entitlement on your first VA loan, you don't have to refinance your first VA loan. You still can use some of your entitlement to buy a second house, as long as it's your primary.
What is entitlement exactly?
It's basically how much money they give you towards how much they're guaranteeing on a loan for you. So it's your entitlement. So I don't quote me on the numbers because it's been many years since I've gotten a VA loan, but just work with your lender to basically say like, hey, you're going to pull your certificate of eligibility through the VA. They're going to look at it and say, oh, okay, you have this much that you can use. Let's say it's 100,000 down or guaranteed. So they're going to work out a number of how much money you'll have to come down with the difference. But either way, it's still way better than a conventional loan because you're going to save a lot on fees.